Hey, good afternoon. This is Brian Johnson, and we are going for round 3 this week. And I've got a new contraption, so I busted mine yesterday in case you caught my smoothie video. So that's all right. So let's have some fun. So today we're going to talk about your 3 top summer foods. And just so you know, my whole intention is to share information with you that is super simple and that I know for a fact will create miracles in your life if you use it. The stuff I'm sharing with you is not going to be rocket science. It's going to be stuff that is completely logical. You just may not be thinking about it, and I'm going to share with you some stories and some experiences that I've had with this information, and specifically why I share it and take time out of my busy schedule to share it with you so you can use it and implement it in your life. So if you're a regular with me, I am super grateful for you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for always being supportive and always coming and sharing and giving me your messages and giving me your gifts and asking your questions and allowing me to support and serve you. And if you are new on my broadcast, I open up the same opportunity for you, and I am super grateful for you. I love you, and this is what I get to do for fun. And I notice I don't have my necklace on. I almost feel naked without it. We'll talk about that. And that's okay. So tonight, my whole topic and my whole mission for the next 30 minutes, or actually for the next 28 minutes, is to share with you some things that I know that work extremely well, that are super easy, and that you can duplicate anywhere on the planet. And I think that is better. Okay, perfect. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to talk about, if you have ever connected with me before, you know there's a hierarchy of how I share and talk about information. And here's my hierarchy. My hierarchy is based on the things that you would die without first. This is what we address. Myself, I say we, Chris included. We both have the same philosophy. Chris is my business partner that you'll see pop around on Think Great, Lose Weight too. So we have air, number 1. That's the first thing you're going to die without. It doesn't matter how much food you have. If you get suffocated, you're done. That's number 1. Number 2 is water. Meaning our bodies are 60 to 77% water, and if we are dehydrated and we're not taking in good fluids and we are acidic and we are emotionally rabid, emotionally acidic, and we are not eating vegetables and we're not drinking and eating good water and we're taking in toxins from our planet and our foods are nasty. Water is so very important. You're going to find out because we're going to talk more about it. I'm going to talk about you specific waters that you can use, what you can do if you just have tap water, and just some things that you can do that are very inexpensive that will allow you to thrive, because I assure you it's about working right, not about working hard. I know plenty of hard workers who are completely missing the mark because they're not taking a moment to slow down and say, okay, am I serving myself the best by working hard on this, or is there a better way to do this that's going to offer me more benefit? Because let's be honest. Can I be honest with you? Of course. Thank you. It's really, every time someone's talking, the whole thing that's going on in the back of our mind is, what's in it for me? I love you and I'm grateful for you, and how does this help me? Right? Let's just be honest. Perfect. Now that we're completely authentic with each other, I'm going to share with you the things that you can use that are going to be just for you, that I have used just for me, that make an amazing difference in my life. So what's up, Rachel and Terry? So hey, if you are feeling called, I always appreciate it if you share my message. That's really the best way that you can support me if you have any interest in doing so. If you don't, I still love you anyways. If you're on here for free content, you're in the right place. If you're on here for amazing stuff you can invest in yourself, you're in the right place too. So if you feel called, please share my what's up, Emily? Welcome back. We'll talk about that. My whole mission is to support and serve 200 million people, starting with each one of you to the best of my abilities and God's abilities through me. So with that in mind, let's have some fun. So the first thing that we're talking about is air, right? And one of the most important things that most people don't know is, guess what? Right now, it's free. Totally free. And me being completely honest with you, I have had some trainings in my past or some experiences in my past where I've done lots of illegal drugs and I've been really high. And I have been way higher on free oxygen than I ever have on an illegal substance. How crazy is that? I have had experiences where I've been out in the jungle with my coaches doing work and doing breath work and have been super high, like so high. I laughed so hard for about 3 hours with a whole group of my teammates that were doing a big bunch of breath work. And we've done a bunch of processing and gotten rid of a bunch of emotions and stories and things that we did during the day. So it was a super intense experience. And my invitation to you is this: you don't have to be anywhere to start sucking up oxygen. Like, matter of fact, let's do it right now. I'm going to show you a breathing technique that I do that you can use that it doesn't cost you a dime. And this one thing will dramatically lower your stress, improve your well-being, boost your hormones, boost your digestion, help your hair, skin, and nails, help your brain function, help your clarity, help your sleep, and help your ability to be an awesome person. So if you were in on all that stuff, let's have some fun. All right, so the first thing I would do is just sit in my chair. And when I'm sitting in my chair, I just want to flatten my feet completely on the ground. I want to sit up nice and straight. And what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to take my hand, doesn't matter, like ladies, here's what I would do. Ladies, I would put your left hand on your belly button. I'm going to put my right. Men, you do your right. So all you're going to do is we're going to do 4 simple breaths. We're going to do 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, right? Real simple. We're only going to do 4. So I invite you to put your disbelief on a shelf and allow me to share some things with you, and just give yourself permission to be a kid and play around for a little bit, because that's all we're doing. And I'm going to share something with you. So here we go. We're going to go 4 seconds in. So put your hand on your stomach. Ladies, your left hand. Men, your right. On your belly button. So you're going to breathe 4 seconds in. Three more of those. Now, while you're doing that, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, here's what I noticed on one breath. As soon as I opened up, breathed down into my stomach, my eyes got water, and I automatically sat back into my chair where I was more grounded. Okay? You probably on breath number 3 right now, or 4. And I'm really, what I would like for you to do is just be curious. Like, what did you experience? You may be saying, well, you know what, Ron, I didn't experience anything. Well, you didn't do it right. If you didn't do it right, go back and do it. Be yourself. Give yourself permission to breathe as much oxygen as possible down into your stomach, and pay attention and tell me what you notice, because something is going on, I guarantee you. And when you notice that, here's what you can do, is that is really such a super easy and inexpensive tool that you can use at any part in the day that can dramatically help you to push through emotional experiences. I can tell you that what happens when most of us have an emotional experience or something stressful happen, we automatically shut down breathing, like we get tight. We start breathing from our chest. When we're breathing from our chest, that means we're in fight or flight. That means your adrenals are running hardcore. That means your cortisol levels are high. That means your body's insulin levels and inflammation levels and your body's chemistry is getting out of whack. All you get to do is breathe down into your stomach. That fast. And you can shift where you're at. So just remember that. And if you ever wonder if you're functioning in thriving or if you're functioning in fight or flight, look down or just feel, where am I breathing from? Am I breathing from my chest? Am I breathing from my stomach? That will give you a direct indication of what's actually going on. Okay, so we covered a lot of stuff. Air is the number one thing that is present from an alkaline body versus an acidic body. An acidic body we spoke about yesterday on my smoothie video. If you didn't get it, take a look and check it out. An acidic body means there's not a lot of oxygen. It means there's really not any oxygen. When there's no oxygen, there's inflammation, and there's an opportunity to receive or to attract or to get illnesses and dis-ease. Oxygen is the presence, or alkalinity is the presence of oxygen, which is that you are not going to come down with any type of illnesses. That's what's going on, okay? So let's talk about water, right? So water is the number 2 most important thing in your body. Super simple. You always see me have water here. This is Kangen water. I've got it in a blue BPA-free jug with some green liquid mint-flavored chlorophyll in it. And since I have it, I'm going to have some. Water is extremely important. Most people do not drink enough. And it's really interesting, in the system of body language, water actually, when someone is dehydrated, that means they do not want to feel, which is interesting, okay? Now, there are different types of water. You could I do not recommend drinking tap water unless you have some major filtration systems on it. They talk about some different waters. So if you're talking about acidic water, which is anywhere from not a 7, it's about a 6.9 and below. 7.0 is the mark of neutrality. That's what distilled water is, okay? Anything less than that is acidic, meaning it's breaking down your body, meaning your body is releasing calcium, which comes from the form of your bones, your teeth. What happens is your body releases calcium into your bloodstream to balance out that acidity. Remember, your blood acidity cannot change or you will die. So what happens is when you start having acidic foods, lifestyle, acidic emotions, processed foods, alcohol, sugars, all those acidic foods will start to break down your body, and then your body starts to use your teeth and your bones, which is known as osteoporosis, to break all that stuff down. And what happens is here's where heart disease comes in. So when you're very acidic and your body's breaking down your calcium from your bones, your joints, and your teeth, and it's releasing calcium into your bloodstream to neutralize that effect, what happens is sometimes that plaque does not get pushed out of our arteries and veins fast enough. And then what happens is it starts to build up and it starts to corrode, where all of a sudden pieces of foods and lipids and things that used to be able to fly through there are no longer able to make it. And now you have a hole with something trying to get through there that's blocking half of it, and then other stuff gets plugged up. That's when a stroke's happen, and that's when blood clots happen. So making sure you're staying alkaline is very important. Now, here's some cool things that you can do from your grocery store. This is a freebie. This was not planned, okay? Here are your top two foods, artery scrubbers, okay? Now, all this stuff that I'm talking about right now, from the air and the water and everything, it's all in our nutrition program. If you decide that you're looking to take the next step, it's all in there, A to Z, okay? So your top 2 foods, actually, we're going to do 3. Your number 1 food for reversing plaque out of arteries is the avocado seed. Not many people know that, which is really fascinating. And not many people know that it's really not that hard. When you throw it into a blender, like a 3-horsepower blender or a Bullet or a Vitamix, I would not recommend a Ninja. What's up, Audrey Nicole? You can watch a video that I did yesterday on blending where I talk about it a little bit. But using the avocado seed is one of the most potent sources of soluble fiber. And what soluble fiber does is it clears all the garbage out of our arteries so that it opens up our highways. So cars and food and nutrients can go faster without any congestion or any wrecks, okay? Important. Second 2 foods. Most people don't know this again. One of them is okra. You can fry it or you can eat it normal. If you're going to fry it in coconut oil. That way you're using a good healthy oil. The second one is eggplant, which is really fascinating. I really like eggplant and shiitake mushrooms together, and I like sauteing them in coconut oil. One of my favorite things, I actually have some shiitakes I'm washing right now. I really love shiitake mushrooms. And if you're talking heart issues and you're talking boosting your summer performance, which is what we're talking about, that's our theme. Shiitake mushrooms can dramatically boost your immune system because of the beta-glucans in them, which mushrooms have beta-glucans, and beta-glucans are super strong. Like, that's one of the most potent sources of anti-cancer and anti-AIDS substances on the planet. They have a mushroom called the agaricus mushroom that is shown on PubMed to do some super fascinating stuff. Like, so fascinating that when they actually go look for this stuff in the wild, they take hunting dogs and people with armed guns with them because of this, how potent these things are and what kind of a challenge it is to get them. So mushrooms, in my opinion, are the most potent substances on our planet. If you think about it, penicillin has made a massive difference in killing all kinds of stuff on our planet. So mushrooms have huge capabilities of compounding networks where they communicate and they transfer energy back and forth in the forest and all kinds of crazy stuff. There's a lot of huge studies done on mushrooms and mycelium base. So that's my mushroom kit. Got off on a tangent for a moment. Still very important, okay? Shiitake mushrooms will also dilate your blood vessels. Very important. So if you're talking, you have plaque in your arteries and you're not functioning that well, you must blow your arteries up. Big mechanism like the shiitake mushroom will help you to do that. And it also has high in vitamin D. So if you're not getting enough sunlight, vitamin D will affect your hormone function. So understanding that and having mushrooms, and let me just put it this way. You don't get a lot of nutritional value from baby portobello mushrooms. They don't have a lot of nutritious value. However, they are nutritious from a taste flavor. They just don't have a lot of nutrients. Shiitake and crimini are 2 of your top that you can find most readily. Okay, so we're still talking about water. We got off on a little kick, and I think that will serve you, that information. Importance when you're talking water, it helps with your hormones, helps keep your brain functioning. It's just like water in your radiator. And water helps to cool your whole car and keep it functioning appropriately, right? So the types of water that you drink are vastly important. Distilled water is the mark of neutrality. If you're drinking distilled water, it is also going to pull out all of the minerals in your body. So you need to be drinking vegetable smoothies or having some type of mineral supplement to replenish the balance that's coming out. So Alexander Graham Bell, the name may sound familiar. He's actually the telephone dude from way back in the day. He actually cured his arthritis with drinking distilled water. Now, I don't know if I've told you this before. I've told some of you this because some of you on here have been connected with me for a while. With the water that we drink, it's called Kangen water. I have seen people come off a transplant list solely because of water. It was a controlled study we did for free. We had people that were literally on the liver transplant list. The doctor was like, dude, we're not even going to put you on the list. Your scores are that bad. And he's like, wow, okay. And what happened was they still had him going back to the doctor to check what I believe is called his MAL score, where they tell you, all right, your number's at this week. You're not good. You're getting better. You're getting worse, right? Well, we started putting it on water weekly, and we started taking in 5 gallons at a time. And I'm not even joking. It got to the point where they were checking his blood work every week. He got administered into actually being able to receive a liver. Then his liver got so good, he didn't even need a liver, and they told him to get out. He was off of the donor program. And his doctor was flabbergasted at what was going on. His doctor's like, I have never in my life ever seen something happen this fast. And honestly, I see this stuff happen all the time. To me, this is common sense, for Christ's sake. And wouldn't it make most sense to drink good water and have good vegetables and food? And wouldn't it make most sense to think that God has already got all this figured out? That all we get to do is plug in? That's my personal opinion and my professional opinion. And I have seen so many wacky stories happen with doctors who have no freaking idea anything about water or food. And that's automatic operate. I've seen so many things happen that my first instinct is I'm going to figure this out myself first, and then I'll go seek some medical profession. Now, I'm going to share with you as a legal disclaimer. Anything I say, I highly encourage you to check with your physician so you have someone giving you some type of information. You ultimately, when you walk by the mirror every morning in your bathroom, you are the awesome person that is responsible for your health. And right now, I'm investing my time to share with you the wisdom that has been imparted with me to empower you on your journey and in your life, to keep you out of the doctor if at all possible. And if you trust me and you listen to what I say to do and you execute it, you will have the same opportunity for yourself. That's the only reason why I am solely committed and convicted to doing what I do and investing my time nightly when I could be hanging out with my family right now, is sharing it with you to put it out on a huge scale so people that resonate with what I share with them will use it, adopt it, share it with their families and their friends, and empower the people on our planet to take care of themselves. Because honestly, our government is not set up to do that. Our government is set up to teach you to completely be dependent. And I'm empowering you to be independent and to be free by understanding the wisdom necessary to allow you to position yourself in that way. Now, let's continue on with my message. All right, so we got about water. So alkaline water, I have seen people come off a transplant list. Like, water is no joke. And here's the deal. I used to be a meathead, believe it or not. If you looked at me now, you may think I was still a meathead until you probably had a conversation with me. And not even 5 years ago, when I got introduced to water, the lady was like, it was to the tune of, hey, your water's going to make your mouth wetter. And I'm like, what? Come on, it's water. You kidding me? What's it going to do? It's all the same thing, right? That was my influence and my position prior to me going to this water meeting. So, excuse me, I've had cheese I just got back on a walk and my allergies are all messed up. So if I snort, I love you. And I apologize. I catch myself doing it often and I choose to stop. How's that? So, we were on water, and I was a meathead. And when I went to this lady's house to drink water for the first time, I literally was falling asleep. That's how tired I was on my way over there. Like, Chris was driving. Thank God he falls asleep too sometimes in his past. Chris was driving, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I was literally taking a nap. That's how tired I was. We got it to the lady's house. We were going through our little water demo, and we went inside. And she had some water lined up on the table, and she gave me a glass of water, and I said, all right, I'm going to have some, right? And here, let's drink the Kool-Aid or the water. So I drank some water, and I'm talking 2 to 3 seconds with water hitting my mouth. My eyes went, choop. I was like, all right, something's different. And I was like, I didn't feel like this 3 seconds ago. And this is nuts. Like, I was wide awake. Like, I had literally just had an 8-hour nap is what I had felt like. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was like, I'm completely open-minded. I understand I'm not feeling any caffeine products or anything that I took prior to me stepping in the door. I wasn't feeling anything from food or anything that I had eaten prior to coming in the door. So I had no chemicals or no nutrients going through my body that would produce that immediate state of awakeness that fast. I'm acutely aware of what I notice in my body, and I'm empowering you with the same wisdom and tools and skill sets that I use to be a Jedi of your own mind and body. That's the key. That's your whole mission in life, is to be a Jedi of your own mind and body. That is your outcome, period. Fulfilled, happily, ever after, enthusiastically. So I drank the water, and while I was there, I probably had a couple of glasses. Literally, I went to the restroom, and I counted. I stood there using the restroom, you do the math, for 2 minutes each, 2 times. I stood there for 2 minutes. I was literally counting off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was getting rid of a ton of water. Now here's the reason why. When we are acidic and when we're dehydrated, like, have you ever seen the little babies in Ethiopia that are on TV that typically have, like, they're malnourished and things like that, and their bellies are super swollen? They're super swollen because their body is pulling all the water down there in their digestive area for their guts and for their gut and brain function. Now, if you think about a person who's overnourished, which is human beings here on planet and United States, myself included, I was eating lots of food. I was just very toxic from the foods that I was eating. So I was swollen. So when I had good water in my body's like, oh cow, we've never had this stuff. This stuff is amazing. And then what it does is it says, all right, everybody else who is less than this, let's get these toxins and let's get this excess water and stagnant water out that we're holding on to balance out the acidity from the toxins, from the toxic lifestyle, from the Diet Dr. Peppers, from the nasty fish I was eating, from no vegetables, from all of that stuff was still floating around in my system. When I had that water, man, my whole body cleaned out like almost instantaneously, like so much so that I hit a hardcore detox for about 8 hours that night, about 7 o'clock. Chris and I were riding around, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm getting the flu or something, which is really odd. And he goes, well, I feel the same way. I said, well, we've been eating the same thing, so I doubt it's food poisoning. He goes, I bet you it's the water. And I said, yeah, I bet you you're right. So sure enough, got finished drinking the rest of our water, went home, went to bed at 9 o'clock and slept till about 8 or 9 o'clock the next morning, was still fuzzy when I woke up, and literally had some more water with my coffees or whatever I was doing at the time. And literally by 12 o'clock that next day, I was like, holy cow, I feel freaking amazing. This is nuts. I was like, well, it just totally makes sense. I was like, you're putting some of the best, highest quality graded liquid you could find on planet Earth in your body. Your body knows what to do. We just get to give it the stuff necessary to do it. So here's a couple of things in conjunction with water that you can do that are super easy. Always drink some type of filtered water. My encouragement to you is to at least drink a 7.0 or above. And to honestly, everyone is different. I'm just making a recommendation off of what I've seen work with over 60,000 people. You get to try what works for you, and you are the judge and the ruler of your own body. So just try out what works for you and take note. When you change something, it's not going to take you a week or 2 weeks before you figure out something's different. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Sometimes it's 3 minutes. Just pay attention when you start introducing new things, because as I share a lot of the information that I share, as I share it with you, and you start to integrate it, we're going to be able to go back and forth, and you're going to be able to tell me what you're feeling, and that way I can invest some time with you and help you out. Because look, what I literally am empowering you to do, and a lot of you know me for quite some time. I got my boxing coach on here. Love you, bro. See you in the morning for sparring. That's right. Audrey, Terry, let's see who else on there. Tam, and Rachel and Emily. So a lot of you have been connecting with me for a bit, and some of you are very new. If you take what I'm sharing with you and you just give yourself permission to be open-minded, because here's the deal. When I was closed-minded in my past, I didn't learn anything. And honestly, in the last 5 years, I have learned some of the most fascinating stuff that will expand your mind, that you would be amazed at this stuff actually going on. I'm talking body language, like itches and scratches and disease reversal nutrition, like stuff that I'm like, wow, this actually exists. This is crazy. Is this legal to do this? Yes, it is. Oh, wow, sign me up, right? So the stuff I'm sharing with you, I've seen create so many different miracles in people, and I encourage you to use it for yourself first. Try it. Put the litmus test to it. And then as you start experiencing things in your own life, gladly share it. Please share. That's the whole reason why we are here, is to create a difference on our planet by sharing the truth that has been hidden from us for quite some time. And it's time for us to restore and remember who we truly are, and to understand what's truly available to us and for us. So all those in agree, amen. Last part, let's talk about foods for a minute, and I'm going to roll out of here. Okay? So here's the most important part. Our bodies are very seasonal. When you are hot and summertime's rolling around, you feeling like eating burgers and steaks probably is not going to be as abundant, because those are very hot foods. They take a lot of energy to break down. When I eat a steak, man, I'll start sweating because my body's breaking all that stuff down. What you can do instead is keep in mind water foods, beans. When I'm talking water foods, I'm talking vegetables, I'm talking fruits, I'm talking about watermelon. Let's talk about a few ones specifically that you can use that you may want to integrate today, or choose to integrate today, right? So, first one, try Chris, and you can join Chris on this. My business partner, Chris Francis Vanberg, just posted a 42-day vegan challenge that he is doing. And honestly, like, here's the deal. For those of you that have been following me for quite some time, know that I have been experimenting with a lot of different food theories, from veganism to raw to fruitarian, meaning eating nothing but fruits, to eating nothing but proteins and fats, to fasting, to not eating for a day. Like, I have been trying it all to figure out what I feel best off of, because ultimately, like I said, just like for you, I'm on my mission to be my best self every day, and I'm willing to experience the pain to experience the pleasure. That's the most important part. So I'm willing to put myself in odd situations to test myself out, see how I function, and to find the best version of myself, and to peel away everything that does not support this version of me. So I've been trying different things with my food, and really what I would encourage you to try is, Terry's actually in that challenge, is try doing it. That's all I'm asking. I can tell you that when I have steak now, I don't really like it. I don't at all. I look at it in the store and I'm like, ugh. A lot of the reason, I think a lot of it too, because it's not sustainable, and I see what they do with the cows. More importantly, I grew up a Texan, and I can eat some meat, trust me, so it's not that. I understand that. I understand both sides of it, and my personal choice at this moment in time is to not eat it because I don't like it. And I also like the fact that I'm helping out our planet and being more effective with my own body, and also with the resources that I have, and doing things that I agree with more wholeheartedly. So that's my mission. You do what works for you, and I love you no matter where you're at. Body stays pretty cool. I'm definitely functioning in a better capacity, about 212, 214 pounds. I feel better. My